Madam Vice President, first of all, many thanks for coming on my show here at KWH Radio.
Thank you for having me, Michael. I mean, on the show.
Right. I gotcha. Anyway, I know your time is limited, so let's dive straight in, shall we, Madam Vice President?
Sure, Michael, dive away.
All right, so first off, the Israeli-Palestinian War has now been going on for 10 months. When you're elected president, how would you try to end this war?
That's a very good question, Michael. Okay, so you have the Palestinians, and they're in Gaza, which is this little strip of land between Israel and Egypt. And then you have the Jews. My husband is Jewish, so I know a lot about Judaism. So anyway, the Jews live in Israel, which is next to Gaza. And these two peoples, the Jews and the Palestinians, they really don't like each other. Now, I love Venn diagrams. You know about Venn diagrams with the circles?
Yeah, sure.
I just love them. You know, I love the circles. Okay, so the Palestinians are one circle, right? And the Jews are another circle. And these circles are overlapping because they're in the same land. They live on the same land. That's where they exist, or coexist, I should say. And then you have the third circle, which is peace. And what we need to do is we need to slide that third circle up until it overlaps with the other two circles, the Palestinian and the Jewish circle. And then we'll have peace.
Right. But how do you get that third circle in there?
Well, what I would do is I would tell Israel to stop bombing the Palestinians because these bombs are killing innocent civilians, right? Because bombs explode and they don't care if they're killing Hamas fighters or innocent women and children, because bombs don't think. I mean, we have these bombs we call smart bombs, but they're not really smart. These bombs, they will still just explode and kill whoever is in the way. And that's bad. So Israel needs to stop doing that. But I would also talk to Hamas and tell them to stop killing the Jews, because that's not very nice either. That's not how we're going to end this conflict. You don't end a conflict by fighting. You end it by stopping the fighting. Look, at the end of the day, it's important to recognize that this is a conflict involving two sides, and both sides have people, and those people have, feelings and opinions. So my position is to support a solution that everyone can agree on, which is to say a solution where everyone feels like they've won something, even if no one's really sure what that something is. It's like when you split the last slice of pizza, everyone gets a bite, but no one's really satisfied, right?
For sure. I really hate it when I have to split that last slice of pizza. All right, let's talk a bit about the economy. Inflation and unemployment are up, and there is talk that there might be a recession coming. What measures would you take to combat that?
So first of all, inflation is when things get more expensive. Not just everyday items like, say, tampons and pantsuits, but also things like cars and jewelry. So obviously that's bad, right? Then you have unemployment. Low unemployment is good because it means people are working. But high unemployment is not so good because it means a lot of people are, unemployed. But the good news is that if people are unemployed, they don't have much money to spend, which will drive prices down. And if prices are down, people can buy more stuff again, which will help the economy recover. So the best course of action is to simply do nothing. Frankly, I find that's often the best course of action.
To do nothing?
Yes, because doing something often makes it worse. Or at least that has been my lived experience. Whenever I do something, I often make it worse. So I find it's often best to do nothing, to make no policy, take no position, so you don't make it worse. Because the moment you do something, you're going to be held accountable for it.
Sure, but sometimes taking a position and doing something is inevitable, isn't it? Like with AI regulation, for instance. Almost everybody agrees there needs to be some regulation when it comes to AI. Can you tell me what your position is on this?
Sure. So AI is artificial intelligence. It's intelligence that is artificial, that is not human. And that can be a problem because we don't have laws for non-humans. But it's important to regulate the things that need regulating because otherwise we wouldn't have any regulation. So we must ensure that the regulation of AI is indeed regulated. And the best way to regulate it is to ask AI what would be the best way to regulate it. and then we'll just implement whatever regulation it comes up with. Simple, right?
Okay, let's move on to the border crisis. What would you do to stop the massive immigration?
Oh, there is no border crisis. That's just right-wing spin. Look, the border is secure. Really, there is no problem at the border. I have been to the border. I went to the border. I've been there. And what I saw there were people, lots of people, thousands of people, people of color, people like me. Because I'm a person of color, I'm black like you.
I hear you, sister.
Right on, brother. So anyway, people like us, people like you and me, women, children, and other people, innocent people, they want to come to our country. And why wouldn't they want to come to our country? It's a beautiful country. And we have so much space, we have lots of space, so I really don't see the problem.
So what you're saying is we should have open borders?
No, I'm not for open borders. That's something the right is trying to pin on me, that I'm somehow for open borders because I want to welcome all immigrants. But I never said that. I'm all for borders. You got to have borders, otherwise how would you know where one country stops and the other begins? You have to have borders. I just don't think we should close them. As long as you don't close them, there's no crisis. Look, we have space for tens of millions more immigrants. They can live in Montana, Colorado, the Dakotas, Utah, Arizona, you name it. We have plenty of space in the flyover states. There's plenty of space there. So my solution for the so-called border crisis is to just let everybody in. That's the best solution. Do nothing. Just do nothing.
Oh, that's our cue. We have to go to commercial for a moment. Thank you very much for coming, Madam Vice President. It's been inspirational.
Thank you for having me on the show, Michael.
And when we come back, a woman who is in love with her AI assistant. Don't go anywhere. This is Michael Jefferson for KWH Radio.